Don't take.
You know what? I didn't know that.
Did you know that math
Okay.
is Friday?
Okay. Okay. 2 ways that we can divide polynomials. We can divide using long division. That's the first thing we're going to do.
Awesome.
And then your best friend is going to become synthetic division. Okay. Okay. Remember when we were, I think we divided in 3rd grade?
Fourth.
5th? Oh my, no wonder we're behind
Phoenix
China.
Elementary was exactly the best.
Okay.
What are we on?
5-4. You put our number outside. When we divide, see if it goes into 1. It doesn't. Does it go into 13? 3 times, multiply, subtract, blah, 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 blah. Yes? Does that look semi-familiar?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to do it a little more complicated, but it's not too bad.
Oh.
We got polynomials with our x's. Okay? Here's what we do. Are we ready?
Yep.
Full attention forward. Okay. First step. Take your first inside term, which is 6x squared, and divide it by your first outside term, which is 2x. Okay, everybody know where I got those numbers from?
Yep.
Okay, when I divide those two, what's 6 divided by 2?
3x.
3x squared divided by x? X. Okay, that is our first thing that we're going to put up top, just like we put the 3 up top here. Okay, what you have to look for is you want to match your x with this x. Don't put it first. Match your exponents, okay? So we're going to put...
just ignore the plus 1 right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just look at our first terms, okay? So we're going to put 3x up top, okay? Just like before, to figure out what goes down here, we have to multiply. 2x times 3x is how much?
Squared.
6x squared. Match it with your exponents. Put it under this one. Okay? Sure. Okay, don't forget your last term. I have 3x times 1. That is 3x. Put it under our x. Okay? Questions of where I got these numbers?
So you do the
You like
2x
distribute.
divided by 6, or how many 2's going to 6?
Say that again.
And then you just multiply the 1 to the top. Is that what you did?
You kind of like distribute this top one to what's out front, and that goes
Oh.
below. You know what
So
I mean?
the 1 only applies to the bottom, it doesn't apply to the top one? Do you know what
We
I mean?
only did the first one.
I know,
so-
that's what I'm talking about. So, like, you did 2x, and you did
So
it.
3x times 2x is 6x
Yep.
squared, and 3x times 1 is 3x.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
Did you subtract the x's? Like,
We have not subtracted yet.
wait,
These we divided over here. This is division.
So how do you get 1 from dividing by 2x?
The 1's already here.
How did you get 3x? Like, I know you divide 6 divided by 2, and then the x's, how do you only get 1x?
Because x squared divided by x is x. Like x times x divided by x,
So it's really just x squared minus x.
you can just subtract exponents. Okay, yes.
So like we're on the very first we're on 6x
Yeah.
squared, but will we have to go through 7x and 2?
Yeah, we gotta go all the way through.
Yeah, so we'll end up with 6.
Yeah, can we just go through and figure out what we're
Sure.
doing? Okay.
Dennis, let's go.
Alright. Okay, just like before, we're gonna subtract. What is 6x squared minus 6x squared?
0.
0. Your first term should always cancel. Okay, that's the point of doing this. Okay, now I have 7x minus 3x.
4x.
4x, bring down your plus 2. Okay, are we okay there? Okay. Take your first term again and do like we did over here. I have 4x, that's my first term now, my new first term. My other first term is still 2x out front. Okay. When I divide those two, what do I get? 2. Your x's cancel. I just get 2. The 2 goes up top. Okay. Now multiply. 2 times 2x, 4x. 2 times 1, 2.
Hey, can you say that again? Can you slow down?
2 times 2x is 4x.
Okay.
2 times 1 is 2.
Okay.
Okay. Subtract. We get a remainder of 0.
We have not done this before. So now what?
Are we
So
gonna have
our
remainders
answer is 3x plus 2.
Are we gonna have
right.
remainders too?
Oh,
Yes.
Lord.
Okay, to check if you want to, I'm not going to make you. All you would have to do is multiply the thing out front and the thing out top. If you multiply them, you will get the thing underneath.
Would you just do that to begin with? No, you don't know the answer.
I mean, it's kind of like a conversion of guess and check, but it works for like degree 800.
Oh my god.
Okay. I know it's new. Don't worry, we'll do examples. Questions so far?
No, it's a keep going.
Alright. I want to divide 4x squared plus 23x minus 16 by x plus 5. What do you think should go out front?
X plus 5.
X plus 5. Good. Underneath goes 4x squared plus 23x minus 16. Okay. Yes. To figure out my first term, take my first term underneath, 4x squared, and divide it by my first term outside, which is x.
Those are just 4x.
4x. Good. Okay. I need to match my 4x, put it above just the x, which is what number out front right now?
23.
23. I put it above that one, okay? Match your exponents. Okay, questions there? Okay, multiply. 4x times x, 4x squared, should cancel. 4x times 5, 20x. Subtract. I get 3x. Bring your minus 16 down.
So you always subtract.
Always subtract. Okay, questions through there. Okay, do this all again. Take your first term, 3x. Divide it by your first term outside, which is x. And we get
3.
3. So our 3 goes on top. Multiply. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 5 is 15.
So we have a remainder.
If I subtract,
We have a remainder.
what do I get?
Another one.
So that'd be just x or what?
Negative 16 minus 15.
-1.
Negative 31. Sorry.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Negative 16 minus 15? Be negative 31.
Mate, this is
I
basic.
forgot
math.
Oh.
That is our remainder. Okay? You will,
Do you have to do it so that decimals and count? Or can we just write it as a
just leave remainder.
negative?
Something you might see is a remainder over your thing out front. That's how some answers write
So
remainders.
instead of R,
Your
it'll just
book
be-
writes it like this. If you look back in the answers,
So
okay.
instead of R minus 31, it would be negative 31
over
X
what's
plus
outside.
5.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the same as a remainder though, okay? So this
Is that answer?
That's the
is our
question.
answer.
So those are two
So the
separate
next one.
things, but
They're interchangeable. So like
If
for me, if you just write r negative 31, I'm fine with that. But on like a question of a quiz, if it says what's your remainder, it might look like this.
So do
So
we put
just
both the 4x plus 3 as well as the remainder?
No, if it wants just the remainder, it would just be this part. The negative 31
So we
over
just
what's up.
forget about that stuff up top?
Yeah.
Oh.
If it wants the whole thing, you include all of it. But just the remainder is that last chunk. Okay. Other questions here?
So you could just label it anyway, either the
Yeah.
first part on.
I'm fine with just the R, which I feel like most of you probably prefer. Okay. Let's do another one. What goes up front in problem 2?
X minus 7.
X minus 7. Good. Underneath is 3x squared minus 29x plus 56. How do I figure out what goes first?
Third square divided by x.
Good. Take your first term and divide them. 3x squared divided by x, which is 3x. Where does that go? Above the negative 29. Good. Now what?
3x times x.
Yeah. Multiply up to your front. 3x times x is 3x squared.
Minus 21x.
3x times negative 7, negative 21x. Now what do?
Subtract.
Subtract. First term should cancel. Good.
Negative 8x.
Negative 29x minus negative 21x.
Negative 8.
Negative 8x. What do I do with
Plus
56?
Bring it down.
You just
Bring it down.
Just like right.
Okay. Now what?
Negative 8x divided by x.
Yeah.
Negative 8x divided by x, which is negative 8. Where does that go?
Under the negative 8x.
After the 3x above the 56. Now what?
Multiply by the outside.
Multiply it by the outside. Negative 8 times x.
Negative 8x.
Negative 8x. Negative 8 times 7. Negative 7.
56.
Plus 56. What do I have as remainder?
0.
Nothing.
What did we
So
do?
my answer is just 3x minus 8. What?
What did we do with the 56 for the second row?
For this?
Yeah, did we just
Negative 8 times negative 7 is plus 56. Then 56 minus 56 is 0.
Is synthetic and material doing this? Like,
This is pretty easy.
well, I mean, it's not, it's just
I'm just saying it
Yes.
gets easier.
That's what it says.
Only long division, but with some extra steps.
Is that for us? It's for anybody.
Is that the NHS thing?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
can we do that?
Questions?
Two and some English.
Does it get any
Okay.
harder than this?
We just gotta add one thing.
Of course it does.
Of course. Okay. X squared plus 1 is a factor. Factors go outside, put it outside. X squared plus 1. What goes inside? Okay, pay attention. When we have our exponents, like 4, this one starts at 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's our exponents. If it's not there, you need to include a 0. Okay? So, we're going to write this down. 3x to the 4th minus 4x cubed plus 12x squared. Do I have an x? No. I need to write 0x. Okay, whatever it's missing, we need to write. And then plus
wait.
5.
Oh, I gotcha.
Okay?
That's 0x.
0x. Yep.
That-
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does everyone know where I got that 0x from?
Because it
But it
needs to
doesn't
be
exist.
there.
Doesn't exist. There's nothing there. But we have to put it there in order to
The
multiply.
same as singular x.
No, x equals 1.
Because 0 times anything is 0.
So if there's not just a one,
Well, we're
then
missing-
then that's when you put a zero.
Just
If you put
x by
x,
itself.
if you put x, then it's a 1x, and you want 0x.
Should we do the same thing?
Say that again.
So now we just kind of do the same thing, we take the x.
Okay. Notice before we've used x's. This time we're using an x squared. So it's going to be a hair different. Okay. same thing. Start with our leading exponent or leading terms. 3x to the fourth divided by what?
3x.
X squared.
So then do you put the 3x
Hold
squared
on.
over? Sorry.
What is 3x to the fourth divided by x squared?
3x squared.
3x squared. Okay, what did I tell you? This needs to go above what it matches.
The 12x.
So do I put it above the x cubed?
No.
No, put it above the x squared, okay? Okay, now here's where you need to pay close attention. When we multiply, what is 3x squared times x squared?
3x to the fourth.
3x to the fourth. That also needs to match up. Don't put it under the cubed, put it under the fourth, okay? What's 3x squared times 1?
3x squared.
Should I put that under the cubed? No, put it under the squared,
That's weird.
okay? You can bring the minus 4x cubed down, or I like to write plus 0x cubed. It's the same thing, I just like to fill that space. And then this is a plus, sorry.
So,
Okay, are we okay there? Okay, match your exponents as we go through, okay? Still subtracting. I am for sure going to remember them.
How come
These,
we don't,
what?
how come we don't do the rest of the way? Like a 1 and then.
Because we're out of stuff, we're just going to bring it down as we go.
Oh.
So we'll use them all. Okay, my x to the fourths cancel. Negative 4x cubed minus 0x cubed gives me negative 4x cubed. So this is where I'm saying you can just bring it down or have the 0x cubed. Either way it works. What happens to my x squared? Plus 12x squared minus 3x squared.
plus 9x squared.
I get plus 9x squared. Okay, then I like to bring down one at a time. So I'm going to bring down a plus 0x. Okay,
Could you bring down all of them at once?
you can continue to bring them down. Okay, other questions through there? Okay, same process again. Take your leading term, negative 4x cubed divided by my leading term out here, which is x squared. What does that give me? Negative 4x. Where should I put that?
Minus 4x.
0x.
Above the 0x. Match your exponents. Okay.
So then you do 0x minus 4x.
Hold on. Multiply negative 4x times x squared gives me how much?
Negative 4x cubed.
Negative 4x cubed. Again, if you don't cancel that first term, the very first thing you multiply, you probably did something wrong. Okay? And then negative 4x times 1 is negative 4x. Should I put that under x squared?
No.
No. Put it under your 0x. Again, I like to put 0x squared just so that I make sure I know what I'm doing. Okay, let's subtract. What happens to my x cubes? Cancel. My 9x squared comes down,
Minus 4x.
and I get 0
Plus
minus a negative
So that's actually plus 4x.
plus 4x. And bring your 5 down. Okay, last one. Not problem, but stuff. How do I figure out what goes in back? 9x squared divided by x squared, which is 9. So plus 9. Multiply. I get 9x squared plus 9. I don't have 0x, or I don't have an x, so 0x. Subtract.
4x.
I get 4x minus 4. Do I have anything more to multiply? No. This is our remainder. Okay. How you know if you have another step to go, this exponent is less than what's out here, so I can't do anymore
It's any lower.
if it's any lower. Okay. I know there was a lot of steps. Questions?
No, let's keep going.
We're doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I erase this blue stuff? Everybody has this blue stuff down?
Yep.
It's in the way of my problem, okay. Okay. Last long division problem. Scratch out this stuff.
Are we doing day 2
Second
today?
or first?
Both of them.
So, scratch out this
So you
one.
can scratch it out.
The second one we're
The
not.
second
We're gonna have to write through it. This one's kind of long.
Okay.
So we're just not gonna do that one?
We can't really erase
Well, it's
it
just
like I
steps.
did.
Well, just cross it off. Okay. My factor is x minus 2. That goes outside. The inside. X to the 5th minus 32. Am I missing stuff in between an exponent of 5
Yeah.
and a constant?
A
A
lot.
lot. Okay. X to the 5th plus 0x to the 4th plus 0x to the 3rd plus 0x squared plus 0x minus 32. We can do it. I know we can.
That's so extra.
So extra. I know.
And it's always going to be plus 0x.
Wherever you don't have, just put a 0x to whatever. Okay, step 1. What is it?
X to the 5th divided by
X.
X to the 5th divided by x, which gives me
X
to the 4th.
forward.
x to the 4th. Where should I put it?
Above the fourth.
Above my 4th.
Multiply by x.
Multiply by x. X to the 4th times x.
X to the 5th.
X to the 5th. What's nice about this one? My minus 2x 4th is right next to it. When I subtract 0 minus a negative 2 gives me
2.
positive 2, x to the 4th, bring down your 0x cubed. Okay, questions there? Do it again. Divide what and what? 2x to the 4th, divided by x, I get 2x to the 3rd. Put it above your 3rd. Multiply 2x cubed times x, 2x to the 4th, negative 2 times 2x cubed, minus 4x cubed. When I subtract,
4x.
I get a positive 4x cubed. Bring down my 0x squared. Okay. Mentally, who can tell me what goes up here? 4x cubed divided by x. What should I get? 4x squared. That'll save you somewhere. Multiply 4x cubed minus 8x squared gives me a positive 8x squared. Bring down your 0x.
How do you get 8x squared?
0 minus a negative 8x squared is a positive 8x squared. 4 times 2 gives me this negative 8.
Oh, you did
What should go after my 4x squared up top? Plus 8x. So I get 8x squared minus 16x. Subtract. I get a positive 16x. Bring down my minus 32. What should I multiply my last thing? What's my last term after my 8x? plus 16. 16 times x, 16x. 16 times 2, negative 32. When I subtract, what do I get for a remainder?
0.
0.
Mente.
So your answer is x to the 4th plus 2x cubed plus 4x squared plus 8x plus 16.
So, are we doing day 2?
What's that, Cam?
How do you get 8x?
Here, here, because 4x squared times negative 2 is negative 8x squared. So this 4x squared and this 2. Okay. Other questions?
For every one of the top ones, we go through the whole factor, like the x minus 2. Like so, at x to the 4th, we multiply it by x first and then come back to multiply by negative 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you kind of like distribute what you put up top. Yeah. Okay. Other questions on day 1? Okay, the only thing I ask when we do homework tomorrow is that if it asks to long divide, you do that. Okay? This, you're going to love me. It's amazing.
Oh, we are doing day 2. So
Yes.
Today.
Okay, when we synthetically divide, the important thing is that we reverse the sign of our divisor. Okay? What that means is my factor right now is x plus 2. We're going to start with a minus 2. Okay, the way we set this up is going to look super crazy. Not going to make any sense. We're just going to do it and then kind of work our way backwards, okay? And I promise it'll make sense. You're going to love it. Okay, what's nice about synthetic division as opposed to long division is we just write our coefficients down, okay? What is my coefficient for x cubed? What goes out front? There's an imaginary 1 there, okay? For my x squared, my coefficient is negative 14. Make sure you leave yourself some room so that stuff doesn't run together. For my x, my coefficient is a positive 51. And for my constant, I have a negative 54. Okay. Leave yourself some space under this. Draw a line. Okay. Step 1 of synthetic division. Flip your sign of your factor. Write the coefficients down. Okay. Step 2, bring your first coefficient down. From there, we're just going to repeat the next 2 steps over and over until we're done.
Wait, you said what, Nate? You go over that those again after you wrote the numbers down.
So flip this sign, write your coefficients down, because that matches this stuff, and then bring your first number down. Okay, now what we're going to do is multiply these 2 numbers. Okay, what's negative 2 times 1? Negative 2. Put that up here under our negative 14. Okay, we're going to add these 2 rows together. What's negative 14 plus a negative 2? Negative 16. Okay, we're going to repeat that again. Take negative 16 times negative 2, and I get a positive 32. Add these 2 together, I get 83. Repeat that again. 83 times negative 2 is negative 166. Add those 2, negative 220. Okay.
If you said that was our answer, we definitely it's probably not that.
Questions so far? I know it's crazy. We'll get some practice. Questions so far? Okay. Ugly, right?
I was so very much confused.
Here's the nice part. When you do synthetic division, when you get your answer, start on the right hand side, okay? This is our remainder. Okay? So I have a remainder of negative 220. After your remainder comes your constant. So I have a positive 83. After my constant comes an x, so minus 16x. After x comes x squared. This is your answer. That's it. A lot easier than long divided math asks.
Why'd you make this review?
I don't even understand what
Can we do this for the whole time?
Wait, why did we do that the whole way?
Yeah, why did we have to relearn long division? Or
Except
like
they
go
got
over
too
it,
close
not
to
relearn it, but go over it.
That's just.
The negative 2 is just the opposite of this plus 2.
I just don't
When
get if
we-
We
there's.
also saved our hands for
What?
I just don't get if there's a way to do something that's made it easier, or why we have to do the whole thing.
Because you can't, like, you know how in that one we had x squared plus 1? This only works when your factor is just x. So, like, if it's anything x to some power, you have to use long division. Does that make sense?
So these are x cubed.
No, your factors, dear. X minus 7, x plus 2. That's in simplified division. Okay. Let's do it again. Step 1. Flip the sign of this. It's a negative 7, so I'm going to put positive 7 in my box. Okay. Second part of step 1. Flashback to long division. My coefficient for x cubed is 1. Do I have an x squared? No. I need to put a 0 for what I don't have. Okay.
Oh, shit.
So 0x squared. My x, 57. My constant, 56.
Where'd you get the 0?
And that's my x squared.
So we're missing.
It's not there, so just like in long division, when it wasn't there, we have to put 0.
Leave a space.
Okay. Yep, leave some space. Bring our first one down. Okay. Multiply 7 times 1. 7. 0 plus 7. Multiply again. 7 times 7. Add. Multiply again. 742. Add.
792, 798.
98.
Okay. Questions? Let's write our answer. Start with the right. Our remainder is 798. Constant is what?
106.
My x is what?
7x.
7x. Then what?
X cubed.
X squared. That's my answer.
Why do you write it like this?
Because, I don't know, I just think it's easier. Your remainder is always back here. So, like, if you start out here, I don't know how you know x cubed, x squared.
Oh my
x
gosh,
squared.
it just
Oh my
happened.
gosh, that was super long time.
Sorry. Like a massive brain
Okay,
explosion.
we're almost done. Questions?
You always add the 2 rows.
Yep, always add. So long division we subtract when we multiply. Synthetic division we add. Other questions? Okay, that's synthetic division. The other thing we can talk about is synthetic substitution. Okay? When we evaluate something, like plug 3 in here, so 3 to the 5th minus 2 times 3 cubed minus 3 squared plus 2. It's a lot of math. Not going to ask you what that is. I'll tell you it's 182.
Good job.
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
Okay, synthetic substitution, not division, substitution. We can do exactly like division. The only difference, when we substitute, we don't change the sign like we do division. So this is 3, so just leave it as 3. Okay?
It's the only difference.
That's the only difference. Put your coefficients down. X to the 5th is 1. X to the 4th is what?
Negative 2.
Negative 2.
Zero.
What do you negative 2?
Oh, 0.
That's
Oh.
0. There's not a 4th power.
Ah.
3rd power is negative 2. 2nd power is negative 1. What's my x power? 0. And my constant? 2. I'm going to rewrite these because I'm running out of room. And when they get put together at the end, it doesn't go so well. So we have 1, 0, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 2. Even though it's kind of switched together. Okay, draw your line, bring your 1 down. Just like synthetic division, what do I do?
Multiply.
Multiply. 3 times 1 is?
3.
Add it. 0 plus 3.
3.
3 times 3. 9 plus negative 2.
7.
3 times 7.
21.
Add them.
20.
3 times 20.
60.
Add them.
60.
3 times 60.
180.
Add them.
182.
What do you know about my direct substitution and synthetic? Your answer is this last number.
Oh.
Wait, that's not the.
Gotcha.
No, that's our answer when we substitute it in.
Oh.
So if I asked you synthetic, like evaluate for P of 1, do this, your answer is this. When you do this, I want you to circle this last number.
What is
Okay.
the last number? I thought
It's just what if you plugged it in, that's what you would get. If you plug it into like
So
we did
it'll
the
say
direct
what
substitution.
is the power of whatever, and that's what you just multiply by.
When it says evaluate or substitute.
So if it said what is power of 4, 4 would be your number. Like where it says P3, if it was P4, that would be your number.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Our book uses P of A, and it'll tell you like A is 2. Okay.
We just did it the same way, but we just circled the last number for the answer. Or what?
So yeah, always circle this last number as your answer
Okay.
when you substitute. Okay, one more. Do I change the sign of negative 4? No, not when we substitute. Coefficient of x to the 5th is 1. X to the 3rd, negative 3. X to the 3rd, negative 28. X squared, what's my coefficient? 0. X is 5. Constant is 20. Draw a line. Bring your first one down. Multiply negative 4 times 1.
Negative 4.
If I add these two, what do I get?
Negative 7.
Negative 7 times negative 4.
28.
If I add them, what do I get?
0.
Zeros are great. What's negative 4 times 0?
0.
What's 0 plus 0?
0.
It's negative 4 times 0.
0.
What's 5 plus 0?
5.
5.
What?
Negative 4 times 5.
Negative.
Negative 20. When I add them, I get 0.
And so our answer is 0.
My answer is 0. When I plug negative 4 into this long thing, I get out 0.
Wait, we don't have to do that thing where you put like,
It's not a remainder, that's your answer.
something like the 182, well, we didn't write it out.
What do you mean?
Isn't this
Like-
just
No, you didn't have to write the direct substitution, no.